So he got his first job at after he finished school last year, working in hospitality and at the Marriott here on the Gold Coast. And he just worked and put money away. And then when an opportunity came up with Positive, he turned around to me because he's been watching, the PIRs and everything and watching mentoring. And he goes, I want to get one. And he'd put enough away for a good part of the deposit. We did give him some, a little bit of help. But he had most of it, and so he's put a deposit down on a 4-bedroom townhouse in Pimpamar as his first home.
Wow.
And, so that's off the plan, and it's ready in December of next year. So he is now madly saving because he's looking at obviously getting a mortgage at the end of next year.
You're listening to Property Investor Tales, stories from the front yard. Here's your host, Tabitha Brighton.
Hello and welcome to Property Investor Tales, stories from the front yard, where I get to speak to property investors from around Australia about their investing journey. My name is Tabitha Brighton. I'm the head of coaching here at Positive Real Estate, where we get to help people build wealth through property. With over 8,000 clients across Australia and New Zealand, there are some incredible stories to tell, which hopefully make your journey a little bit easier and will inspire you along the way. My guest today is Deana Monk, and we discuss with her recent purchase, which has created over 100K in equity in 18 months, and how her son Liam has started investing in property at 18 years old and what that looks like. So enjoy this conversation with Dee. Hey folks, welcome to today's podcast. Now, I have with me the fabulous Deana, and Deana has been part of the PRE community as an invaluable member. I wouldn't even begin to tell you what her role involves. I'll get her to explain that in a moment. But she's been part of Positive Real Estate for going on 8 years. And I wanted to interview Deana today because one of the things about Positive Real Estate and its mentoring program is, as adult participants in the lifetime program, your children, as they grow older and become adults, get to be part of the mentoring community. Your adult children are automatically part of mentoring. And Dee, as a team member of Positive Real Estate, automatically gets mentoring as part of our community. And her adult children are now beginning to invest. So I wanted to talk about that today as part of the podcast series for all of those of you that have older children. Now, first of all, welcome, Deana, to the podcast. It is awesome to have you here.
Thanks, Tab. Thank you for having me.
Do you want to just fill the guys in briefly on what it is you do at Positive Real Estate? Because it's a very varied and incredibly important role.
It is. Well, my primary role is as EA to Group CEO Jason Witten.
Yes.
So I look after Jason and Shay
yes.
As a unit, and then also Sam Saggers. So looking after all of the directors of Positive, it's, a big role in itself.
Yes.
Then I look after the board governance for all of the entities that they own.
Yes.
And in addition to that, I manage our offshore team. So we've got 30 plus team members in Manila, and I manage those. We grew that from 4 to just on 33 at the moment.
Yeah. And I know you're a much loved member of the PRE community. I know a lot of the team often come to you. You're along with Shay, who's definitely Mama Bear. You're up there as Mama Bear number 2, the work wife of Jason Witten. And so it's awesome to have you here. So thank you so much. I know myself and many of the team, when we've had those moments that are a bit rough, we come to confide in Dee. Dee is definitely a very important part of the team. And so tell me, you recently have purchased a property yourself, you and your husband, Gary. You've purchased a property in your self-managed super. Is that correct?
Yeah, that's correct. We've recently purchased off the plan in Arana Hills.
And that was
So
a
the
townhouse, wasn't it?
Yeah, 4-bedroom townhouse. So
Wow.
that's coming up for completion in the first quarter of next year. So that's exciting. And so that's, a great asset to have, especially, as we head towards the end of our working careers, that we've got something in our SMSF. Not that I'm going anywhere fast, but,
I'm going to say, no.
No, you know what I mean, though.
I do.
So that's exciting, and to be able to have that ability to get something that we can keep as an asset is awesome.
Fantastic. And I know many clients are interested in the SMSF space, self-managed super space. And so there's a couple of things that I have to pre-frame here. One, Positive Real Estate is not giving clients any financial advice. Deana and her husband have gone to see a financial planner to make sure that that strategy is right for them. They go to an accountant to double check that they're comfortable with what buying in a self-managed super involves. They get all the numbers done. They understand their strategy inside super, and they understand the importance of running a compliant super and what that looks like, because the ATO have some very strict guidelines about a compliant super fund and what you need to do. So, it is not something to be taken lightly, but if it suits your circumstances and you've had all the right advice and you've set it up correctly, it can be a fantastic strategy to really support retirement. Dee, you have a low LVR, so a low loan to value ratio. So you might have to put in 30-40% of the purchase price. And we're looking to have a strategy where that property gets paid off as quickly as possible, which is what you and Gary are doing. So you and I, Dee, I hope you don't mind me sharing, we're both in our 50s. I myself have a property in my super, and my strategy, like Dee's, is to get that paid down as quickly as possible. So I'm no longer, having to pay off a mortgage. How can I use my PAYG income effectively to maximize my taxes? And so I contribute my maximum into super to get that debt paid down as quickly as possible. And the end goal, Dee, I think you'll have a similar goal to me, is to have a debt-free property inside super. You have that fantastic rental income, and you've got an asset, that should you decide to, you could sell and have that inside your super to support retirement as well. Is that kind of where you're going with yours?
Exactly. And we've been making extra contributions, for the last 18 months, and making sure that we also put in the maximum that we can.
Fantastic. And when you've got those lower LVRs, when you've got less debt compared to the value of the property, then your cash flows better as well. Yeah. And
the property has gone up in value even before we've settled it, which is awesome.
That
I know, right?
That's awesome. Are you comfortable to share roughly what you think that property's gone up?
It's roughly gone up about 100K.
Wow.
Yeah.
In 2 years, 3 years?
In 18 months.
In 18 months, that property's gone up 100K. What a fantastic return potentially for your portfolio.
Yeah, 100%.
And so off the plan done well, understanding the strategy, and I will highlight buying a class property. Like if your super balance only supports you buying, something pretty low value, my humble opinion, and it's only an opinion, I'm not qualified to talk about super, I'm not licensed to talk about super, but what we see for our clients is be very careful buying low-grade property. You have to buy an A-class asset inside your super. You'll get the maximum cash flow and the maximum capital growth over the long term. It's not worth buying something that is not a quality property inside your super. You really want that A-class asset, and then you reap the benefits like Dee has of that capital growth. And D, your yield when you finish will support any lending that you have in super, because there's one thing, I mean, as much as there's upside with doing all of this, there's also your flip side that you have to understand in super. So interest rates are higher. It's a little bit more of a convoluted process to get a loan inside super. You may have to even pay for a broker to write you a loan inside super, because they do involve so much more work. And there's a lot of paperwork and a lot of hoops to jump through. You would have known that. Is there anything
100%.
you want to share on that journey?
So we, before we did it, we got the advice from a financial planner, made sure everything ticked all the boxes. We also spoke to a broker, made sure what we had to do to have it ready to go. And we've continued that communication with the broker. So we know that when it comes to the time where everything's ducks in a row done, so it's nice and simple, and making sure that all of the audits are done on the, annual audits are done, all of that is done.
So fully compliant
with the ATO and ready to go for loans.
Awesome. And when you go to do your loan, because I know that you've seen other people go through the process of doing an SMSF loan, there's an absolute, I think I can speak frankly, folk, today and say there's a shit ton of paperwork.
100%.
You've got to get, multiple people to sign off on it. And it's not a straightforward process, but I will clarify, if it is a strategy that works for you based on your discussions with your accountant and your financial planner, it's a fantastic strategy to make sure that you have great security inside super for retirement. Yeah.
100%.
100%. And so let's talk a little bit about Liam. Liam is your son. How old is Liam?
He is 18 and a half.
18. Oh my God. I remember. So yeah, he would have been 10.
10.
When you first started working at Positive Real Estate.
He was short then too.
And now he's what? You have to fill in the story.
6'5".
6'5".
Yeah.
And he's a basketball player, isn't he? He's looked at doing some stuff in the US, and
he did, and then COVID sort of squashed that for him. But now he's going down another pathway. But keeping that up as a, social activity.
Yeah. So obviously a talented basketball player. He and I'm linking this because often, not always, what we see with people that understand a high functioning athletic career is they may have certain clarities in their personality around discipline, around goal setting. Not always the case, of course, but it doesn't surprise me that Liam is, first cab off the rank with your kids to jump straight in there and get stuck into a property. I know Elise, your daughter, also has the same qualities. She's a dancer. She's led stuff within her own community of friends. Equally, I'm sure she'll not be far behind Liam. So tell us, what's Liam done? 18 years old.
18. So he got his first job at after he finished school last year, working in hospitality and at the Marriott here on the Gold Coast. And he just worked and put money away. And then when an opportunity came up with Positive, he turned around to me, because he's been watching, the PIRs and everything, and watching mentoring. And he goes, I want to get one. And he'd put enough away for a good part of the deposit. We did give him some, a little bit of help, but he had most of it. And so he's put a deposit down on a 4-bedroom townhouse in Pimpamar as his first home.
Wow.
And so that's off the plan, and it's ready in December of next year. So he is now madly saving, because he's looking at obviously getting a mortgage at the end of next year.
That is phenomenal. And there's a couple of things I want to touch on here in what you've said. So I'll just clarify for people that aren't part of the PRE community, the mentoring community. PIR is Property Investment Report. So when anybody's looking at taking on a property opportunity, The team have put together an investment report on every single property that comes out here at Positive Real Estate. So Liam's obviously gone through the investment report with yourself. Did he have anybody coaching him outside yourselves and Gary?
He had Jason.
The benefit of being in a circle with Deana, he gets coaching from the top man himself, which is pretty phenomenal. So he's obviously had a chat with Jason about the Pimpama property and whether that would fit. And I noticed you said that you gave your son a bit of help with the deposit. Do you want to? Are you happy to expand on that a little bit?
He had most of it. We gave him 20,000 just to top it off, and that's what you do. You help your kids, and it 100%. Might look like a deposit or something else, and but yeah, that's exactly what we did. So we gave that to him. And, he's exciting times for him. So living at home, working hard, and putting every cent away that he can.
Oh, that's great. And you know what I love about this is I think you and I are quite aligned in our values. Yeah. And I've coached at Positive Real Estate for over 16 years. And as you coach a lot of people, you see commonalities. And one of the commonalities is, of course, parents that absolutely, from a very heartfelt place, are super keen to support their children into the property journey. I know there's a lot of concerns out there at the moment around affordability, around this next generation being able to even buy a property or get into a property that is somewhere that they want to live, particularly in those major capital cities. And from a lifestyle perspective, Gold Coast, Brisbane, Queensland, that's getting up there now as the market has some challenges around quality supply, I should add. And one of the things I know is, one of the things I've observed is when children or young adults are gifted a full deposit, sometimes you have to have some skin in the game. And what I love with what Deana and her hubby Gary have done is Liam's gone out there. He's wanted it. He's set a goal. He's got a job, he's saved, he's sacrificed some stuff. He's stayed at home. Not that I'm sure that's a sacrifice, Dee, but as all of us as young, if I know you, but if, as young people, we want our own space. We want to obviously be seen as adults. And part of that is I was very keen to leave home. And so I can imagine that Liam has made a choice in consultation with his parents to stay at home while he saves for this deposit. I love that because he has skin in the game. And so when he hits this goal, it is all the more meaningful because he has strived for it. And when we have a goal where we have to stretch and strive, not only does it make that goal so much sweeter, but it also means we build self-esteem and self-worth, having attained something, having attained something hard. And so sometimes just something to consider, it's not right for everybody, but something to consider. When we have just been given something, it is easier to not value that as much as when we've had to strive for it and participate. Now, I'm the same as you, Dee. I said to my daughter, Amber, save 1,000, I'll give you 1,000. She had to have skin in the game. In the end, it turned out that she bought it because she didn't want me to have any say in it or anything to do with it. She knows her mother so well. And she went out and purchased her own unit. But she's a lot older than Liam. She's got a good 10 years on top of Liam, and she did some other stuff before she purchased. For Liam to get into the market, freaking phenomenal. Congratulations to you and Gary as parents. Congratulations to Liam for setting some big goals, right?
And he's set, it's his first home, so he knows he has to live in it for 12 months. Yep. And then he's already thinking about his next property.
Is that right?
Yeah. So he's gone, I live in it for 12 months. He's lined up some mates to move in with him, do that. And then he wants to turn that into some equity and then go again.
So that's cool.
Yeah.
And so is he...
So he's really set on that.
So is he getting any benefits from like first home buyers grant and all of that kind of stuff?
First home buyer grant.
Yep.
First home buyer grant, that's why he has to go and live in it. So it's not an investment.
Yep.
So he's going to go and live in that.
Yep.
It's quite close to us, so that's handy. And yeah, so he's going to go and live in it for 12 months. We'll see what happens after he's been living in it. But he knows, he's preparing himself for mortgage payments. He understands that. So he's making sure he puts away more than what we've worked out roughly, what his mortgage repayments will be.
Wonderful.
That he needs, and
yeah.
No,
sorry, I cut you off. I think we had a little bit of internet lag, or I'm just tired. I've come off the back of a big event over the last 6 days, and my eyeballs are hanging out of my head. So if I stumble on my words, forgive me, folks. So there's a couple of things once again in here that we need to highlight. Liam has a buffer. So one of the key things we do with all our clients is any property that they're purchasing, we make sure that they have a buffer so that if anything happens, interest rates rise, you get sick and you can't work, anything out of the ordinary, that you have a buffer so that you're not put under pressure to make decisions under pressure that are often not quality decisions. Yeah, we always want at least around 2 years buffer for folks so that we've got time for whatever the challenge is to settle or to work out a plan in order to be able to manage whatever has happened as an issue. So buffer is awesome. I like that he's got his mates in. So his mates will help him pay the mortgage. That's pretty awesome. And there might be, my illusion is, there might be some growing for Liam in that space. Mates sometimes don't pay cash when they're supposed
100%.
And so hence I like he's got a buffer. He's going to have to step up as a bit of a leader within his group, and I'm sure he does already, but he might have to have some hard conversations with
it's
friends.
very different when, it's yours.
Yeah, when it's your butt on the line.
Yeah. So that'll be important for him. And, we've spoken to him about, all of the insurances that he needs to get. So he's making sure he's got money put aside for those. And, because it's all the things they don't think of.
That is so cool. So you'll see Liam grow as a young man with responsibilities and step into that space. I think that's so cool, Dee. Well, congratulations to you guys. And I'm super pumped. I don't know about you as a community, but it'll be super pumped. And it won't be 12 months because Liam has to settle the property yet. But maybe in 24 months, I'll pop back and do an update with Dee, and we can follow Liam's journey and see how he goes. I think that'd be really cool.
Yeah, no, so he's got his plan. So he's got his goals and his, vision boards and all those things. So let's see how it'll, he knows where he wants to go and what he wants to do. And he's, making some plans work-wise as well. So I think that's super important. And I think a lot of that comes back to that team sport that he played at a high level.
Yeah, that's awesome. That's awesome. And hanging out with Jason and the team too, I'm sure. And seeing everything. Because proximity is massive. Yeah, you are who your top 5 peers are. And and once again, I'll sing it from the rooftops. Part of the benefits of being part of a program like the positive mentoring, I can't get my words out. Part of the benefit of being part of a community at Positive Real Estate, because you benefit, from the 6,000, 7,000 clients that we have nationwide and across New Zealand that are all doing a similar thing. They're all having lessons, they're all having challenges, they're all having massive wins. And you grow from those challenges and you grow from your community. So I think that's absolutely fantastic, Dee. And there was one more thing I wanted to highlight with Liam's journey, and it's gone out of my mind. Well, I think we'll leave it there. So thanks, Dee, so much for sharing Liam and your own journey with some property investing stuff. Super, super valuable. And don't hesitate to reach out, folks. If you didn't realize that your membership included your adult children, it absolutely does if it's a lifetime membership. And we look forward to hearing from you. And Dee, thanks once again. Oh, I forgot my favorite question at the end. If you could give young Dee any advice, and this reminded me of what I wanted to say too, because the most common answer to this question is, if I could have started younger. And that's what I love about what Liam's doing, starting investing at 18. Words fail me. He will get such a kick-ass result. So Dee, young you go back 20, 30, 40 years. What advice would you give young Dee?
100% start investing earlier. And if we'd had the ability to have kept our first house whilst we built the house we're in now, that would have been awesome. But, we can't go back. We can only go forward.
Amen. Truer words never spoken. Thank you, Dee. Thank you for sharing your journey. That was awesome. Speak to you soon. Hey, thanks for listening to Property Investor Tales. Remember to subscribe so you get notified every time a new episode drops. As you can guess, I love hearing people's property investor tales. So if you'd like to share yours, then please get in touch with me via email at propertyinvestortales@positivementor.com.au. We would also love your feedback, and I would appreciate a 5-star review over on Apple Podcasts or Spotify. Remember, you can watch all of these podcasts over on YouTube at Positive Mentor or at positivementor.com.au. Until then, take care, happy investing, and bye for now.